What it do, YouTube? It's your guy, Basic Corporate Body, back with another video. And I finished a field here. I let Courseplay do headlands. Of course, I did my pauses and pretty much playing like I wanted to play it. Sorry I didn't get that on footage. I was doing some testing and how that go, but we kind of jacked up our terrace a little bit, but we playing it how I said I was gonna play it. So we actually go fast forward time, so we can get a better look at this. Maybe it'll be grown. So far we got two fields planted. And first day it rained on us. You can, babe, if you want to. Well, not stand up. It rained on us, and yeah, we had to. We couldn't. Alright, go. Couldn't we couldn't do anything, and ooh, I'm playing for about an hour. Not gonna lie. I had stopping and going and stuff like that, but we go. We start off with this fast forward and stuff, but all right. Yeah. Let's see what the weather's gonna be like. I ain't hear no shit. Anyway, weatherman don't know what he be talking about. Alright, so wheat still in the same growth stage. We got up pivot in. Even though it's a short pivot, I need one more tower, and I gotta get the right pivot. I thought I had the one that I liked it. I said liked it. That I liked. Get proper English here. Alright, so we got. Never mind the lines that's going through the headlands. They don't count like in real life. They're mulched out. What counts is the actual headland. So we ran, and don't ask me why I did it like this. A double headland on this side of the terrace, single headland on this side. I don't think it was a need, but we did run a double headland here. Got a little wonky, messing with Courseplay. But Courseplay, for the most part, kept it straight. So our roads should be pretty good. Turn the overlap off. Of course, it tries its best to keep the contours, but you know, some things just can't be helped. Don't get it perfect in real life either. But see, we did cut it off, did a single headland. So on this side, we did a double headland. And for some reason, Courseplay was trying to pick up this field, and we don't even own this field. Matter of fact, this is the edge of the map. Oh, that's why we don't. Alright, so we fill out the edge of the map. No thanks to myself. Alright, so we just picked up our KBH nurse trailer that I have brought back from the dead. And oh yeah. Yeah, buddy. This thing right here. Yeah, nah, we got to fix that. I need to make that mouse control. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go back and Blender on this one and redo it. Bell with some things, do a little topology on it, get it looking curvy and how it's supposed to. Redo that tank because I got a 1610. This is a 2010 gallon version of it. I got that too. We got our injected there, but yeah. Showdown Ingenious, and then C is for plant growth. Alright, so we'll fix that later. I haven't used that thing in forever. Alright, let's see, we need to get our dual going again, because we only got one more field prepared. It was just this one in front of us, because it rained. So you might as well unfold. Hope everybody had a fantastic day today. Mine was kind of fun-ish, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. We should probably hopscotch. No, we gotta come back out this way anyway. Let's start here. We got lime in the bottom, so let the game save. We do 2 headlands. Booyaka shall. Start him and let him do his thing. So far, I think if it don't rain today, we might be able to walk down a majority of the corn ground. At least on this side of the road before we have to cross over all the way over yonder. That's the plan. You're supposed to lift up the do-all, bud. You wouldn't be so rough. Man, you know what you want me to go to buy so many shanks and teeth? Probably some burns on the choppers. Anyway, yeah, we'll let him do his thing. We are good on seed for right now and liquid fertilizer. So we'll knock that course off. I think I'm gonna sell that 8010, trade it in and get another RX. Only problem is this next RX I want to set it up on 38s and 40. So I'm gonna have to actually set that up in GE and make it another track option before I buy it. That's the only reason why I ain't bought it yet. So for the time being, we'll keep the 8020. I want to run it on the other do-all when we go over our ground, our plowed ground, old corn ground. I want to use it for that, so that's what we're gonna use it for. Man, whole time I really want to play Call of Duty. I can't talk Call of Duty, but I promised a stream for tomorrow. This night's Monday night, and I'll upload this in a wee hours and make it publish at 8 a.m. So we gonna get that content out, guys. We gonna get it out. All right. So we back to playing, and people asking what's my FPS running row crop. I need to lock it in a straight 60, and it's low like that. Looking at the shed with all the stuff, because I got everything set on high. So high than cloud 9. You feel me? And we're just gonna plan along. I think I'll do a headland in this field. I'm not gonna do 2. Want to have a 24 row inch headland, and yeah, there really ain't no space in here. But then again, we need space for the combine to turn around, so I might end up doing 2 headlands anyway. But I always try to plan up to the first headland, and you know, then, cause like I said, when you motion it up, it don't matter. In real life, it wouldn't be like that. But we've already talked about the technicalities and why we do what we do. I had some people talk about the row shutoff thing. So I mean, how I do it now is already public. It's on my modding page, Banks and Corporate Modding on Facebook. Of course, by INC, of course, Inc. A lot of people try to say, but it's there, and I have helped like 12, 13 people get it installed. So don't think you're alone. All you got to do is reach out to me, and I will personally help you. And I'm doing this free of charge because on my Patreon, for my help, like one-on-one, like let me see your XML and send me the mod and let me go over this with you. That's my $50 tier. But for the purpose of that, because how we've been playing row crop this whole time and nobody figured it out. Well, they figured it out, but nobody wanted to share that or make that public. I don't understand. So I just went ahead and did it. Because that was one of my things when I first came in. The reason why I didn't want to do row crop is because I didn't understand how any of it. I know how it worked, but I didn't understand like the gameplay of it. But now I can play without it. Like it would be hard for me to fire Alma Missouri and not make a row crop and play. It would be extremely hard. Just because once you get accustomed to, because now what type of planner you run matters. Like now it makes sense for me to have a 40 foot a 12R40 planner, 40-inch row spacing planner, and a 12R 30-inch row spacing planner. You feel me? Like it makes more sense now. At first it didn't make sense because it's like, okay, well, regardless, the map is set to do this, so regardless of which one, I can only have one. Well, now I can have both without switching anything, you know, and I can use on the same crop. I can plant. I think last season before and I didn't get a chance to finish, you know, showing you guys because I was just playing on my own, trying to work out kinks to different things off cam. But like I said last video, man, I had 30-inch soybeans, 38-inch soybeans, and drilled soybeans just to see how the yield was, and the yield is actually different. I think that's cool. Of course, you know, the height doesn't change like in real life, or you know, maturity levels and all that good stuff. But that added realism makes up for a lot, and I just know row cropping is gonna be available probably within the first 2 months of the game being out. Somebody's gonna do it because if the map hasn't really changed, like I don't expect somebody to make a map that fast, but the base game map, I do believe is gonna have that. Hold on, let me set my AirPod out here. Okay, now that's a little better. Yeah, but I do believe that the the base game map, like, will most definitely be had. And here's another thing. I also think that, because there's two ways to do row crop, right? You have your, like doing now, where we're doing with 12 individual work areas. So I had a 16-row planner, 16 individual work areas. Like you could do it that way. Or you have your way about texture. Like John's version of row crop was carrots. You can plant the end straight, like it's just straight 45. I think it was what, 90-degree angles. Yeah, it's straight 90-degree angles. So you can't contour with the ground and anything like that. Which sucks, but it's a less system dampening way of doing it, and people have tried to crack it and tried to crack it but could not crack it. So I mean, that'll be in game. Also, what I think is really really great that'll be in game is that now you will have the ridge texture, right? And the way the ridge texture works now for carrot, like you can do it. So basically, you can bed your ground for carrots, right? But if you try to plant any other crop on top of that, it won't work. At least for me, I couldn't get it to work. I mean, I'm not no map whiz. I'm on the modding whiz, the equipment whiz. But yeah, you can't get it to work. You can only plant carrots with that. Or maybe it's just because I didn't buy the DLC, because me personally, carrots wasn't enough for me to buy the DLC. Um, yeah, but I just can't get nothing to be planted on ridge. But hopefully next game there'll be some way that you can enable to be able to enable any crop to be able to be planted on that ridge texture. If they can do that, all the Delta guys are gonna be super goddamn happy. Like, excuse my French, but they're gonna be super freaking happy. Okay, that's gonna be game changing. And you know, so far what I see with 25 is it's an upgrade for sure. I keep saying, people saying, "Oh, we should have had this." All this we should have. It's not how technology and innovation works. I can say we should have had fucking iPhones back in the 90s. We should have had iPhones back in the 70s. I could have said we should have had SpaceX back during the space age race that we was trying to beat the Soviets to the fucking moon. I could have said that, but that doesn't mean a rat's behind, because that's not how it happened. So get over yourself. Like, I just don't understand the whole people who, well actually, before I say that, let me say this. I understand you guys, the regular common people who play the game, who don't mod, who say, I don't want to buy the game until decent mods in the game. I can actually understand that. But let me plant this little bug in your ear. Why don't you like just playing the game? Like, I find it so interesting when a new game comes out because there are no mods. Nothing like back then, like back in 11 and 13, like there were mods, but there was like more so money cheap mods and mods to cheat the game to, like, level up and get all the equipment, stuff like that. But people played to play. Then as mods came out, people enjoyed the mods. So I just feel like most people would benefit if they just played the game and got a natural enjoyment for it. Like, that's the purpose of it. Like, you don't gotta have mods to do everything. That's just my 2 cents on the whole ordeal. But you got modders out there that's like, oh, I'm not going to the game to they release modding things, and then what the hell are you doing, sir? Sir, what are you doing? Hold on, guys. You just made me mad. See, now we gotta start over because you want to be an asshole and not do like I did. Let's just do smooth. Yeah, you wasn't supposed to stop. Like, what's up with the stopping? Oh, that's why you stopped. You was about to go to the second head. So excuse me, sir. I didn't mean to talk bad about you. My fault. My fault. My fault. My fault, G. I watched my jet. Anyway, so hey, what was I saying? Oh yeah, um, modders, they just, well, I'm not gonna like. How you gonna mod? And it irks my soul when people say that. I'm like, how you gonna mod? Like, seriously, how are you gonna mod? You know shit about shit. You don't know, and I gotta say it how I say it because it's really annoying. And they do it every game. How you gonna learn to mod the new game if you don't play? You don't even know what equipment can do what. That's why mods, I hate to say it, some mods look decent, like the model is outstanding, but it gets beat out by a crap mod off the simple fact that it doesn't work right. Like, be honest with yourself. Let's say someone made, what's a planet everybody like? Okay, the 1775. There's a couple people making them, right? Let's say two modders made a John Deere 1775 16-row planter. Okay? And one guy model looks a little better than the other guy. He put a little more effort into the model, right? But his scripting sucks. It drifts everywhere. It, doesn't plan certain spots. It skips a lot, things like that, right? Then we got modder B. He goes in and his may not look the part, but he played the game and he know how to script, so his model looks up to par. I mean, his model performs up to par. He's got it to where you got all these options. All the options actually have meaning and not just cosmetics. Like, that's another thing that pisses me off. It's the fact that, buddy, what are you doing? Oh, these headlamps are gonna suck ass. That's why I want to do one headlamp and he gonna suck ass. I'm just gonna let you do what you do. But anyway, it's just like, you gotta put a little effort into studying. Like, if you want to pass an exam, you gotta study a little bit. I hope people are following what I'm putting down. I just feel like some modders just don't study enough. Like, they just think that they can make a mod, make it look good, and like that's the end of it. Like, buddy, we've been past the standard of making models look more realistic back in 17. Like 17 and 19. 19 was in my opinion, the epitome of models starting to look like what they actually are in real life. Like, none of this box here jive, And what's crazy is it makes me think about the guy XYZ Spain. If you don't know who he is, he was the guy who had the 2388 that it may not, compared to the Corsair Monty's 2388, and his little older IS Combine series, it may not look as good, but he had it to where you can, man, select your threshing rate. How, like, you can, damn, what's it called? I can't even think now. You can adjust the sieves. You had fuel, like it had a meaning. Every option on there and function had a meaning, right? And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to rant or anything like that and get us off subject of what we're doing right now, but I just feel like it's just it's too much. They just don't study, and there's no effort into thinking, how can I get this again? Like me, every mod I made, I planned out, like literally planned out start to finish before I even moved a cube in Blender, right? Like this do all, for instance, before I even had it, I already knew how to make the baskets free float. Like they go up and down, they go side to side. I use every axis. They tilt left to right. They tilt front to back. Because in a real world scenario, that's what they do. Now, one thing I didn't do was make each individual one link and then link them by the chain, the bolts that's on there. No, I didn't do that. It's just too realistic. Like, you're not going to know the difference, okay? You scratch it, the ground takes a changes. It's not like the ground's going to be less lumpy or more lumpy if it doesn't move in a certain way, right? So, like, there's certain things that you don't want to do, but then again, there's certain things that you do want to do. Like, when I built this planet, I planned this out from start to finish. I have been making these BS planners, like stack and fold, since FS 13. And then they was just, I just come in here, put a box, put a fake joint up there and all this stuff. This ain't even the best work. Like, I built this in like 17. But yet it lived up to its potential. Like, here it is in 22 and it looked better than majority of the freaking 1725s that I've seen. Honestly, I'm being for real. But, and it functions that way. Everything moves from the chain to the drives, everything. Now, what I could have did better on, well, back then, what I didn't know how to do back then was hoses, dynamic hoses. I didn't know how to do that. So, of course, we got hoses that break and, you know, all that good stuff. But this is FS17 early 19 tech. That's why I won't release it. Like, a lot of people are like, why you won't release it now? Because it's old tech. Why would I release this planner as old tech? If I release this planner, I would most definitely have to redo it. Because the person they're not gonna talk shit about Banks and say, oh, he released it. He talked all that smack and released that BS. No, nobody. It would be none of that. When I release something, bro, I want it to look good and function good. And every realistic possibility. Like, I watch videos. I do. If I've never seen it in real life, but I'm making it because my fan base wants me to make it, I'm studying it. Like, when I made the whole strip till rig, we don't do strip till around here. We may hemp up the bottoms every now and then, you know, when it's gonna be, we think it's gonna be a rainy season, but most of our stuff is 0-degree ground. Like, we're just running a disc, a do-all, maybe do a little inline of ripping, that's it. We put the seeds in the ground, like, that's all. But I'm catering to more than just people in my area, so I'm trying to make mods I think would look cool, you know. And of course, everybody and mama can model nowadays, or pay to get somebody to model. That's the thing now, and you know, I'm not against it. You know, it is what it is. Um, but if you can, I encourage everybody who pays to buy a model. I always encourage them, say, hey, learn how to model, bro. It's like, if you know how to model, you can make what you want when you want, you know, and you take more pride in it because you made it. You put time in. I think when I made this the first time, I think it took me 3 weeks to do. When I redid it the second time, it took me a week. When I redid it this last time to make it finally look like the real deal, you know, not just BS the parts, you know, because I was scared of the poly count, it took me 3 days. And there's not a bolt that's not matching the real life. I scuffed that parts manual. I went to Case A's, I took pictures, you know, but we run one on the farm. So plus I already knew how it worked. So that was easy, man. That was super dude. Super duper easy. And but yeah, so if you want to know why I haven't released this planner, that's why. But more of the story is, if you're gonna model, do whatever. We're gonna need some C's in a minute. Study before you just hop up and do some shit. Do something, man. That ain't gonna fly either. I tried to plan on a tall slope like that earlier. I've been having to smooth them out a little more than what I did originally. Yeah, man. It irks my soul because I take passion in this. Like, I've been doing this since I was 12 years old. That was back in 2012. I done seen a lot of people. I have worked with a lot of modders, and the game just ain't the same like it used to be. It's not. People, man. It's hard to explain, guys. I just don't want to get on here and rant, even though I've already ranted for probably like 20 minutes. People they do too fucking much. Kids, close your ears. I just gotta tell. We talk to the grown-ups right now, but they just do too much, and everybody crying over everything. Like, cut all that crybaby behavior out. Nobody cares. It's a game. Treat it like a game. Like, and for the longest, I was against Patreon until I realized that we modders do put a lot of time into making these mods. And that's 100. Like, we put a lot of time into making these mods. So if you just want to test it out, while before we release it, and you willing to pay $25 for that, you got the money, do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, the problem is that everybody and they mother, sister, cousin got a Patreon and got that BS on there. Like, people be really remixing mods and then from another creator and then put it on Patreon like it's theirs. That's what I have a problem with. If you're not the original creator of the mod, like you didn't start that bad boy from ground up, it should not be on a Patreon. That's just point blank, period. Unless you are collabing with someone and you do a majority of the work, but you didn't start at ground up, you kind of like you know how to script real good. It's certain acceptance to that, but I just feel like it shouldn't be on Patreon. Because in a sense, you're ripping people off. In a sense, you robbing the food out of the actual creator's mouth. Like, and there's a big name modder I got. I really want to say his name, but we ain't gonna start no because I'm not that type of person. But I'm saying, somebody gotta say this, because we just been living in this fairy tale that this game is just a game, and like I said, it is at the end of the day. But some of us not treating it like that. If you're gonna treat it like you're gonna run a bag up, you gotta play by the rules. It gotta be rules to it, or don't. Just gonna be a real anarchy, and then next thing you know, John's gonna shut this modding down, which is something that's gonna hurt the game. And then all of a sudden, this game that we love to play for hours and hours and argue about over is gonna disappear, because everybody know modders make the game. If it wasn't for us, we would not be here right now. And Giants knows that. That's why they got to where you get a little money, a couple cents on a dollar, if you get this many downloads on my hub. They try to offer these little petty ass incentives, okay, like the partnership program. I think that's a great idea, But my gripe with Giants about that is, I guess we just gonna make this a rant video, is that why when we see a new game coming out, a new DLC coming out, especially a new game, I wouldn't even say DLC. DLC, cool content creators who don't mod, they just report on the modders. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But get some modders in too. Like, they don't get modders in with this. They just pick random people, people who, report the news, or, got a lot of followers on YouTube and, Facebook, Instagram, all that. But get people who actually make the game better and for you and attract people for you, because last time I checked, console didn't really get great until they enable mods to be on console. Then everybody was like, man, I can be on console. And if we want me to be honest with you, that slowed down the progress of the game. While everybody talking about, oh, the game should have been like this. Well, the game ain't like that because they have to figure out how they can do it for console. If they didn't have to figure out how they can do it for console and PC concurrently instead of making two separate games for the both, then we would have this problem. But you got to think about it. If they make two separate games for two separate systems, there goes crossplay. And where are we going to now in other games? Crossplay. Also, there goes mod support, because who finna be on console and have a PC and just make mods for console if it's two separate games? The guy who gonna make money off Patreon is for sure. That's a bag. That's a free bag. Cause ain't gonna be too many people doing that. But the common people will suffer in the console world. So I'm kind of glad they got it as one game, but just know innovation is gonna be slow because you're limited to what you can do because of consoles. They just can't process what a PC can. Now they get more and more advanced, but you know it's not enough. You know, to like keep up with the curve. Like everybody wanted. So I remember SnowRunner came out. Okay, SnowRunner same game engine Giants using. Ooh. I'm like, no, Giants have their own game engine, accustomed to the game. They would have to literally recreate everything, go backwards to go forward to do that. So no, we're not gonna see dynamic dirt in the next game where the plow is throwing up humps of dirt and you smooth it back out with another implement. You're not gonna see that. That probably will be in the game after 25. That's probably FS27 if they're gonna get back on track for 2 years. But you're not gonna see that this game right now for what I've been seeing, and we've got plenty of gameplay footage to prove it, and they're not gonna be able to change that right away. Is I'm saying that when you turn like this right here, the ground is gonna deform. It's gonna be bumpy when you drive over it. It actually reacts to the tractor physically. Your person in the cab is gonna be bumping around, you know, bouncing around a little bit. But as soon as you go over it, it disappears. So what's probably gonna happen is modders are gonna figure out a way to incorporate that into their mods to where it looks like you're digging into the earth when you run a disc, especially on the end or a plow. You get what I'm saying? Um, there's just we take what little crumbs they leave open and we make a pie out of it. That's what we do. You know what? I'm just gonna end a rant right there because that's all I had to say. That's all I had, and it got all over the place. And I'm just gonna stop because they say if you keep going, you just make the rabbit hole deeper. But that's just my 2 cents on the whole ordeal. Like I'm not against other modders. I just some things, and I just feel like we went about great ideas, but we went about them the wrong way. And Giants, I feel like it's a few things that they could do a little better to mitigate that. Like they'll try to come after you on Patreon, from what I hear. You know, I'm not gonna parameter specifics on how, but they will because you're not supposed to. It's illegal to sell a mod, so that's why you get a lot of early access from modders versus selling. In which I don't see why that's a problem. You're paying for early access behind the scenes. Like if you got a Patreon, the number one thing you should offer is behind the scenes and mod help. I believe those two are vital to making Patreon make sense. Because like I said, I was so against Patreon. I was like, bro, you're going to take the fun out of it. Now it's going to be a pay-to-play game. Because y'all going to say early access, but now I see people are really like living up to that where it's early access. It may be a month, maybe 2 months, but eventually you do get the mod. So to the public so everybody can enjoy it. And it's actually a cleaned up version for what it is on Patreon. So I can rock with that. Matter of fact, I'm comfortable doing that myself. So that's why you see me starting Patreon and doing that, because I feel like now it's really no better time to do it. It's really no better time to do it. Before we, damn, we only got 2.2 bushels. We gotta bring some corn seed. We ain't gonna be able to finish this. Where'd our guy go? I was trying to put him on the next field. What is he doing? Oh god, we gotta tab through all these damn vehicles. Hold on. Buddy. Was I talking too much? Next time blow the horn or something. Toot toot. Alright, let me get him back started. Alright. You didn't even get past the headland. I'm thinking I can move you across the road. Yeah, but we're gonna we gonna keep it classy from here on out. Like I said, I don't got nothing against nobody. I just sometimes I just feel like we do things asshole backwards. Like I said, this is for the grown ups, so people to understand what I'm talking about. We do things asshole backwards. So, um, yeah. All right, back focusing on what we're doing. I hope I wasn't drowning out. That was a good conversation. I had my microphone up to my monitor. But yeah, man. That's just this game. Another thing I've said is that this game needs a history book because people don't even know the greats of the game. Like people don't even know why we have what we have. Nobody even remembers the first person that did flex on the implement. Giant's implements didn't used to flex. It was a rigid frame. I remember that vividly. I remember the person who came out with flex. I can't think of his name, but I remember talking to him because he taught me how to do it. And then there you go. I had flex on back when we had that old 2410 raid by Rob. Well, who made that? A guy named Rob. I think he made it. And I took it, just put a bogus wing on there, added a joint and all that, and I made it flex 5-fold. And then the next game, Giants introduced flex a little bit, but they did theirs through skin nose and all this other fancy stuff that we didn't know how to do yet. Like, mods really didn't get good till Giants realized that most modders don't use Maya. They use Blender. And then when they started catering to the Blender people, that's when modding became a little easier because you didn't have to learn Maya just to do dynamic hoses. You didn't have to learn Maya to do the little things, right? You could do it all in Blender. And then custom painter came about because UDIM became a thing. Um, Back then we used to just texture mods. Like your paint color came from a texture, so if you wanted to change the color, you didn't just go in GE and plug it in. You had to sometimes we go back in there and retexture thing. And nobody remembers this shift from FS17 to 19 when we had to retexture every mod that we had that was great at the time until we made new mods because we had to the spec mounts were different. Uh, there was a lot of factors. Okay, we gonna need some more corn seed. We got cotton seed on there now. I think this will get us over here, across the way, across over there, and probably that corner. Maybe that corner. Oh, we gotta get over there too. No, okay, so over here and that corner down there. But we need some more seed. Okay, yeah. We're good on liquid fertilizer. We should be able to get on across. We're not putting down that much. Matter of fact, I don't even think it's putting down none at all. Alright, let that close. And for right now, we gonna bag this bad boy up out the way because we gotta bring that do all through here. And we got a few bags of seeds. I'll finish these and I'll top it off, and then we'll go maybe put another pallet or two on there. But yeah, this game has went through a lot of changes. A lot of changes. And I'm happy to see the growth. I'm happy to be a part of that. I'm happy to have helped people be a part of that. Working with different people over the years, we had our fallout. It's cool. It's life. I was a young lad, wet behind the ears, still getting milk from mama's, bosom. Uh, we ain't all have it figured out, but now we do. So thankful for the experiences that I get because they actually made me a better person in real life. Um, you know, just having I ran it, so let me just give people their flowers. They know who they are. But yeah, back to the game, guys. I feel like I should just pause this right here. We picked this up. It's 11:06. We picked this up. My time. Another day. Hold on, guys. I gotta text my lady back. All right. Oh God, I gotta cook these ribs. Ooh, Lord, yeah. All right. What's gonna happen is we're gonna finish this field. We're gonna get about this cul-de-sac, what I want to call it. We're gonna plan our way about this cul-de-sac. It'll take us about 30 minutes. Gonna knock this on out. As long as we keep that do-all rolling and the planner rolling, we gonna be at the cul-de-sac. Ain't gonna take that long. My frames dropped a little bit. Probably because I'm recording. Okay, but yeah. Yep. Yeah, I know. We getting 80, peaking 80, 90. But that's about, I think it's row crop. Like, row crop picks and chooses when it wants to hamper my system. And I'm running a 4080 Super. So, one step down from a 4090. I just, and that's another thing, performance wise. Like, this game historically has never ran on all cores. So it's not very optimized. So hopefully this next game, since they're trying to do a lot more tornadoes and it takes a lot more processing power to do all that. Hopefully, we got NVIDIA deep AI technology coming to all the graphics cards and stuff like that. So hopefully it'll be a little more smoother to do this type of stuff. Because we've been doing row cropping since 15. Because I remember when I first made I made a fake strip till rig before I knew how to model, and I put it together in GE. I got it to where I put all the work areas in, and it would actually leave strips, but because of the map and how the maps were set up, then you can only get like 40-inch strips across, well 50-inch strips I think, and it really wasn't worth it. We just put it on anhydrous bars and fake strip till bars, and make it seem like we were strip tilling for real. Them were the good old days right there. Matter of fact, I haven't raised a single. I think back then I used to actually do the cattle. I haven't raised a single cow since then, and that was a long time ago. We in 2024. Now I'm actually excited about the cattle and the animals in the next game. So I might actually, we may actually we might do a couple Let's Play series and have a bee farm. Make a couple things for that. Release, get those things out to guys and release that. Like, I'm slowly, because I used to be stubborn with the mods. I'm not gonna lie. I just feel like I made them because I had this thing where I made mods for me. I never claimed to be the people's champ when it came to mods. Like, a lot of stuff I make because I wanted it. I thought it would be cool to have. But now, as I'm coming out my shell, I'm kind of trying to, which I don't really call it a shell, as I'm really, coming into expanding, because that's why I stopped at right there, and I went into the car community. I started doing car content and stuff like that in my personal life. But had I not stopped, we'd be a lot bigger than what we are now. We probably have about 10K, at least 10K subscribers on YouTube, 30K people on Facebook, and we have, why is it floating? We'd have a couple mods out to people, because dude, I haven't released anything for 22. And it's because people just converted all my stuff I had already released. So I just feel good about myself. I'm like, okay, well, I did good. I got people converting stuff that I made 17. I'm like, dude, you know how many generations there's been? Like, the DB Punter, the JHG, what's his name? JHHG. Dude, he for 2 games, he has converted it for me. And finally, I just like, bro, it's yours. Like, you done did all this work to it. Like, cool, it's yours. Upgraded, put different stuff on there. And whole time, I made that with somebody. Brent Ellenberg. I want to see still around, kicking around. I made it with him, and we, it's been a phenomenon since 15. Since FS15. So the mods I made, as I know they're good mods. Your mod is good if it make it to 15, 17, 19, and 22. That's 4 consecutive games. I made the Unreversed Ripper in 17. It has made it to 3 consecutive games. Might go down a list of all the shit I made. I made the Landau Cultivator. 2017, I believe. It's made it to 3 consecutive games. So that's what I say by I build for longevity. Like I don't build just to say, oh look at me, I built this. No, I use the stuff that I built. So I want it to be quality. I want it to not just look good because I don't care about screenshots. I just start taking good screenshots and using paid for shaders. Well, I don't think I paid for it. My guy gave it to him for free, but you know, he alleged that he paid for some of the features on the shader. That's why it looks so real. But I didn't start using that type of stuff until I bought a brand new desktop, and then you know, B, I was like, I'm gonna take this modding stuff seriously, and I'm gonna build an actual community because my community, I don't want it just to be you just get mods from me. I want you to learn from me because I know a lot about a lot, and I figure out a lot of stuff about a lot, and people know me. I don't stop pushing the bar until the game breaks. Like with this planner, I have made it lock FS up a gazillion times trying to get these spray tips to work. Do people do not know it is an absolute B word to make them spray tips work using an external tank? You used to have, and this only happened in 22. You had to have now in 22 a field volume within the planner. So I don't have no tanks on this planner. So why would I have a field volume? But there's at least 3 to 4 gallons running through this planner at any given time throughout the system, right? So I'm using that value and I'm trunking over my field volume from the front tank we got there, our external tanks. Because I just be like, man, why when I hook up a planner and enable it to have spraying behind it, why why does it always shut off or disappear when the planner runs out, but I still got liquid fertilizer in my saddle tanks? And it's all because it's not defined. See, this how coding get. It's not defined in the fertilizing sewing machine class. These implements, and I ain't gonna get too far in the weeds with it. Like I said, you want to learn about modding and actually know what different things mean on the basics. This is, hey, go support my Patreon. I drop it for free. Hop in Discord. I be in Discord all the time on Discord. It's on my I think I linked it on my YouTube channel. Or you just go to Banks and Corporate Mining on Facebook. I got it there. I'm happy to help. I help explain stuff to you, you know. But like I said, not to get too far in the weeds, but these machines are set up using classes. And you can amend those classes and add other things to it and allow it to bridge publicly. Now, if you're a coder, you know what I'm talking about. Public, you make it public, and that way it can talk. The class can talk to each other and borrow parameters from each other, right? Um, Me personally, I've been doing this since 13. I've had spray tips running behind planners since 13. Nobody else could figure out how to do it. And I had to think about it. I was like, well, if the fertilizing sewing machine is limited, because back then, to get a sewing machine to fertilize, you had to add the sprayer specialization to it in the mod desk. Well, if you wanted to act like a sprayer, you had to add the sprayer specialization to it again. So this is what you had to do in 22 to get the spray to stay on. I just broke the secret to Geno. So if you follow me, want to know how I do it, that's how I do it. You add it in and then it'll work right. Now when people put special field types in like starter, UNN 28% and 32%, now the planner is capable of putting that stuff down too. Because that stuff is defined using the sprayer specialization class. See, it's a lot of stuff that, like I said, if you study the game and play the game, you'll know stuff like that. You just get to figuring out, okay, well, I want to build this mod right here, and this in-game thing already does kind of sort of what I want to do. If I can just borrow that script from the in-game thing and then add a little tweak to it, I can get it to work in conjunction with this, and bam, this a new thing. And that's all it is. That's all scripting is, literally. Word for word, bar for bar. But I'm done. I done ran it. I can talk for days about this. A lot of this stuff been on my mind for a long time. A long time. Cool. Glad I was able to get it out and share it with people, because boy, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Alright, let's I forgot the C usage. Let's see what Courseplay does in this field. We got 2 headlands running. Of course, no, we're gonna stop up here and work our terrace in and show you how I do that. Oh, I typically just turn and take the terrace. The problem was my ground reference node wasn't touching the ground, because I think I had my terrace a little too steep. But now it is. That's why I happen to go back and see the cutout every now and then. So I was cutting out, smooth it out a little bit, or I had to get more on the terrace. See how I cut right there. So now I gotta go back up. Oh, that. And I think it's more beneficial if we just take it up the hill a little bit. See, look at that. It's not smoothed out enough. That's the problem that I have. Like I said, stuff like this is cool to do because we do it in real life, but then it becomes a pain in the butt to actually do, because the game has parameters that it has to follow. Right? It's a game. And like I said, you can only do so much in a game. Now, what I could have done was I could have, and this is not going to be perfect 30-inch space apart. I need to make some roll markers, but it'll be close enough. And we will turn and go this way. Enable that to come back on. Yep. It's not perfect. I should have made him do it sharp. But, you know, it's realistic. So, about as real as it's gonna get. I like to stop my ends right here, just so we can have a way to come in and start cutting the corn. Yeah, we ain't gonna turn it. I ain't gonna worry about it, guys. Like I said, I did the terraces for shits and giggles because I've always wanted to do it and see how it works. I just spent a couple hours, one day on the game, just putting them in. So I ain't expecting to be 100%. We are gonna plant some peanuts though. I'm gonna put some peanuts in that long bottom just beside my shop area, and we gonna harvest some peanuts. We got some good peanut equipment, so we gonna see. I'm getting tired. I gotta cook, so I think I'll probably do this field and shut it down for the night, and we'll pick up this on Friday. Well, what's tomorrow? I'll say Tuesday. Okay, we'll pick up on Thursday. I got time on Thursday. What the heezy? What the heezy is this? Who put that there? I gotta smooth that. That's a random. I gotta smooth that out. Okay. We'll do it next season. But yeah, sorry for the rant, guys. I talk about this with my friends who've been in the game with me since I was 12. I know. And, we talk about this stuff all the time. And I just like, bro, people, the common public that just came to this game at 19 and 22, they don't know the history behind the game. They don't know how the great map makers, I can't talk, map makers from the past. Like, they don't know who XYZ in Spain is. We talk about the guy who had a Great Plains. Hey, in today's standard, it was shit when it comes to the model. But it folded. You can set the seed rate on it. We talking about stuff that was being done in FS09. Dude, '09, that's the first game. And then they just disappeared. Like, imagine what this guy could do now. Like, the power of a Lua file is immaculate. And I've been thinking about getting into Lua scripting. I just ain't. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I've been scared to. I just will plant this ourselves. Okay, turn. I hate doing headlands with a integral plant. Okay, there we go. Um, yep. Smooth man. Okay, let's see if we gonna put it back down though. You picked it up. You gonna put it back down? No? Maybe one day, tomorrow. Hey, buddy. Yeah, you getting out now. Hey, it was cool when you picked it up because I thought that was cool. That's kind of like what I would have did, but I need you to tap back in. Appreciate you. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I definitely would have picked it up, but it's cool. Playing over the terrace, it's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna save and I'm gonna fast forward so we can look at the corn and make sure. Cause I'm perfectionist when it comes to row crop. Cause why not make it as realistic as possible? Okay. And I'm thinking I'm gonna rebuild this planet here soon. I've already rebuilt the row units. They've been sitting in Blender for 2 years now. Rebuilt because I made it to where you can do the 1.6 bushel hopper they have now, and they got a new way of doing the 3 bushel hopper, and it's sitting on top of the exact Marius row unit. So you got to get all that plumbing and those tanks hooked up, and oh my god, these headlamps are gonna suck. We gotta get all that hooked up. So I don't know. We'll see. Cause it ain't no secret. I got a case planner. Like, it's not a secret. I have literally one sitting blender. All it's lacking is air hoses and pneumatic stuff for downforce. That's it. The row units are done. It has hoppers. It also has a center fill option. I know custom body was making one, but mine is for cotton. So for corn and soybeans, I actually have a 1795 split row that's sitting in blender that needs to be. Alright. Let's just put it over here. We are. Let's say the game. You know, get up out of here, man. I'm sleeping now. I got tired of playing FS. Alright. Now, we got that out the way. Let's, oh shoot, the wrong button. Booyah, the corn's grown. Oh my god, look at these headlamps, bro. Atrocious. Course cool. I tried. I definitely tried. It's alright. That one's kind of bad. Yeah, this feels kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie. I just kind of, it's like I just kind of went out here. I mean, straight rows are straight. Straight is narrow. Straight, dead on. They're gonna be fun to cut. But cutting these headlands, I love it. Interesting. Let's look over here. Did we do a double headland here? We did do a double headland here. This is alright. I thought it was gonna be kind of bad. Now this is what I'm more so wanted to come over here and look at. Oh yeah, this turned out kind of decent. This will actually look pretty good because we got double heads on one side, a single head on this side. Pretty uniform. Our headlands look pretty good from Courseplay, kinda, sorta, maybe a couple of riff-racks, and our straight rows are straight as an arrow. So that's gonna be kind of good. Yeah, we pretty decent. We pretty decent. Here's why our neighbor plowed up his grass I planted. Now he got straight corn. This is all the cornfield. We looked at that last. When it comes to corn, I really never cared how it gets in. It's be the cotton for me. Like the cotton has to look right. The cotton has to look right. The soybeans gotta look right. Everything else be like corn. I be like, I don't give a fuck. And everybody else is so opposite of me. They be like, the corn has to look perfect. I'm like, shit, okay, we'll get it how we get it. But yeah, we gonna get up out of here, man. Look, it's late. It's about 12 o'clock my time, and you know, engineer has to get to sleep. And yeah, so let's reconvene on this Thursday, guys, and I'll probably play a little bit behind the scenes, and we'll probably be planning all this over here by then. I know me, I get on the game and not want to listen to music and not stream. Excuse me. We gotta get corn here. This would be a fun place to plant. We got a little ways to go, and then we'll switch over to our cotton planter. Hopefully, I'll be able to get the 8RX up, and we can switch this up. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna use this season. It might sit. Cause the only reason why I used it was to plant my soybeans to catch up. It's like I made it in like a day. You can tell because I dynamically loaded that hose instead of making one and making it four, right? But yeah, it's a 12R40. No, 16R40. Texas style, what I like to call it. Planter. And that bad boy can plant some acres, let me tell you. I took the spray tips off. That bad boy can plant some acres. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna use that. Because as you know, our planter, our cotton picker is 6-row. And we plant 16R40, it ain't gonna line up too good. Now, where it will be more beneficial is when we get over here to this bottom over here. I may pull it out then and just run my headlands using the 12-row. You know, it just depends on how late we get cotton in the ground. And yeah. And I'll probably use it because all this is gonna be cotton ground too. I'll probably use it over here too, just to get across the ground. These are our two biggest plots right now that we got for cotton. And yeah, well, we gotta do our headlands on 12s. So, and we don't do one headland with the 12-row. Cause I'm not driving around the field 4 times with the cotton picker. One headland is good enough. So this might turn out to be our headland planter for that. We'll see. We will see. But hey, look, man, this concludes this video, man. Thank you. If you enjoyed the commentary today or thought I talked too much, drop it in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel to get more realistic gameplay and modder talk, man. The behind the scenes. This is what this is for. So you know the drama behind the scenes, okay? If you can't take the heat, get the hell out the blender. I'm just playing. But yeah, make sure you go to, if you want to support, go to Patreon. It's up. Link is in the Not the description. I should probably put it in the description. Yeah, I watch my videos while I post, so I remember. Trey, put it in the description. All right. Also, you can go on my homepage on YouTube or my mining page, Banks and Corporate Money. Give it a like, give it a follow, and yeah, stay posted. Yeah, also my Discord is on there too. So, want to join Discord? It is there. But alright, guys, there we go. Catch you guys later.